What's up guys, Omni here. You guys know how it goes, another day, another video. Last night I tweeted I sleep. What recent news, topic, tweets, videos you want me to talk about tomorrow? So Char11 and a lot of you guys want me to talk about this. Char said, I know it's been 10 hours since you posted this, but I just came across the LTT situation and I don't really get it, but it seems crazy. That's right guys. Linus Tech Tips, one of the golden childs of YouTube, is currently getting cooked for reasons I'm not 100% certain why. For those of you guys at home who don't know who Linus Tech Tips is, he's one of the biggest tech YouTubers of all time, if not the biggest. Not only being the biggest in terms of just YouTube as well, but in terms of just staying out of drama, like super brand friendly. He makes really good content. He's been doing it for an extremely long time. He's quite literally almost the perfect YouTuber. There was one point in time a few months ago where he almost got canceled for being on a podcast, something to have to do with like the N-word, and it was just like a all big misunderstanding or something. But this time it seems like it's serious and he actually had to issue out an apology video. So let's figure out what exactly is going on with Linus Tech Tips. What I understand is started off with a call out video talking about Linus Tech Tips videos. Pakitsuni said Linus Tech Tips getting in some trouble with rushed videos that have a lot of inaccuracies and him selling a prototype product he was supposed to return. Love your vids, by the way. Thanks, homie. And there was a video that got released that said the problem with Linus Tech Tips, accuracy, ethics, blah, 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 blah. Someone said, hey, yo, Linus, you ain't doing so good, homie. And this video came out first. This video by a YouTube channel by the name of Gamers Nexus is 44 minutes long with 277,000 likes and only 4,000 dislikes. Calling out somebody like Linus for issues that they have done and not getting like destroyed on the internet for it, like coming in after YouTube's golden poster child, means that this video must have been really, really good. It's a 44-minute video. I can't watch the whole thing with you, but let's look at the intro really fast and I'll see if I can find a summary for you guys.
2 days ago, this clip from an LTT lab tour got a lot of attention online.
The difference between us and somebody like Gamers Nexus or Hardware Unboxed is we test new components, new tests every time.
And then Hardware Unboxed tweeted dissatisfaction with the statement made in that tour. We didn't say anything at all, anywhere. Even though it's not actually true, they don't collect new data and new tests every single time, and it's not always necessary anyway. So when Linus went on the WAN show, we hadn't gotten involved. Linus responded to Hardware Unboxed on the WAN show and then said the following.
There's a fair number of people that are talking about the whole Trust Me Bro situation, where there were some creators that it seems like you guys are
what you gonna say?
Look.
All right. If you gotta wait that long to say something, Linus, just don't. Just keep it packing. Just keep it moving, because whatever comes out your mouth out of this, it ain't gonna be good. It looks like it's from the WAN show on August 4th, 2023. And it looks like Gamer Nexus is a competing company. They both probably do similar things, but different. So it looks like there's some beef that's going on, and maybe they were calling out Gamer Nexus, and then now Gamer Nexus is being like, not only did you call us out and you were wrong, but you guys are just wrong all the time. That's what's kind of what it's starting to look like. Let's go down a little bit further.
Just say it. Everyone knows you're talking about us.
It's pretty clear that not everyone in the creator space handled that super professionally. I don't obviously agree with some of the takes that were out there. I don't think that it's particularly journalistic, for example, to ignore facts, to ignore personal relationships.
It is my job to ignore personal relationships. Yeah, if LMG is going to make false accusations and wants to try and use personal relationships to gain favor so that we don't cover something we think is not okay, it's not going to work with us. We don't play that game. Okay,
so they're beefing, Nexus and LMG, and it looks like right now they're winning, and it led to Linus Tech Tips to actually making an apology video. We're going to go to the apology video, but let me just look at some of the chapters really fast on this video, and this is probably a video that we'll save for Omni After Dark, where I'll probably be streaming on Twitch, and then we'll be watching these videos together and reacting too, because we're not here to steal any content like XQC. But it reads here, this video is not monetized, and it covers the concerning data accuracy of LMG, that's Linus Linus Tech Tips. Short, six, and tech quickly, particular. As the company continues to expand in lab's direction, the importance of accurate data increases. However, even as only entertainment, there are certain responsibilities to the consumers and the manufacturers to report fairly. Chapters being LTT's own employees agree. What? It be your own homies are in here? This isn't drama and risk. Bad data from Linus Tech Tips, GPU review errors, CPU cooler test errors, PSU review errors, CPU review errors, asterisk errors. This is like 20 minutes into the video and it's all just errors. 3 ethical concerns, the irresponsible actions and conflicts, the review of Belay Labs, not review of Ponage Mouse, and then unacceptable and the community is disturbing and unfair to consumers, manufacturers, and reviewers. Basically, Gamer Nexus did a complete audit on Linus Tech Tips. Linus Tech Tips said, hey bro, and said some stuff, and they were like, all right, you know what, we're gonna audit your stuff and just show just how bad you are. This in turn led to a few things happening. One being the apology video from Linus Tech Tips, but also, which I'll show you later, there have been some allegations coming out. You know, when someone gets canceled or someone has to make an apology video or they have to talk about their mistakes or mishaps, other people start coming down the woodworks and being like, oh yeah, all aboard. The toxic gossip train. And they start putting in their 2 cents or 3 cents about their situation and their relationship with Linus Tech Tips. Basically, when someone gets called out on the internet, they are open season for anyone and everyone to come out and be like, hey, I also had a bad situation with him, and here is my story. And that's kind of what's happening to Linus Tech Tips right now. So let's look at this apology. It's a 20-minute video apology. Oh, all right, let's I don't know if it's an apology or more like let's a response. The video came out this morning, 4 hours ago. It has 76,000 likes and 43,000 dislikes, which is actually not too good because the majority of the people who are watching this video right now are people who are kind of like not too much in the know. They're just Linus Tech Tip fans and they're just going to like the video whatsoever. So right now, I don't know if the response is too bueno, but let's kind of look a little bit again to the beginning and then we'll look at the summary as well. And then we'll watch it later. And again, when I say watch it later, guys, twitch.tv/Inferno Omni, Omni After Dark, when I'm streaming later this afternoon/evening, we will go over all of the things that we couldn't cover in yesterday's video, and then the ones that are super censored or copyrighted or whatever, we'll just put that on Patreon.
I think Luke put it best at the roast a few years ago when he said, "Why the f*** are you here?" That's a 2-part answer. I'm speaking today because of the recent community outcry demanding change. I'm here because I agree with the community. We do have a lot of work to do.
Why is Linus not here? How you gonna have the I get it. He's the CEO of Linus Tech Tips. I believe Linus and LTT, they've recently sold their company or whatever, but he's still a part of it. But like, nobody wants to see you, dog. Okay, like, go away.
Before we talk about that, while I wish us on better terms, I just want to say I'm very glad to meet you all. I have spent the last couple of decades on the corporate side, but my educational background is in computer science.
I don't care. He's just sitting here and he's reading a teleprompter. Why are you starting off the video with the CEO introducing himself? Okay, we don't care. Okay, not that you might not be a great person, Taryn, but we're trying to get down to the heart of a response of a situation, and we don't want to start off with trying to get to understand who the freaking CEO is, person who owns everything. Like, we honestly do not care. Maybe he feels like he has to do this, but I feel like this could have been done somewhere else. This is not the time for introductions because we just don't care. But I'll give him one more shot, okay? Let me just see if he has anything important to say before I start skipping the video.
My first role in the tech industry was as the writer at Nexus. My history...
Nope, I'm done. I don't want a biography. What? Am I being too harsh? Maybe. But I'm just trying to get to the point. All right? I want to get to the meat and the bones. Okay. I want to get on the bone on the meat. So if I look at the chapters, it says Javon lays out the plan for content reduction. Gary, head of labs, talks transparency. James, head of writing on process improvement. Ed, head of production on... Are they just introducing everybody and talking about everything? Nick from CW on quality control. Taryn lays out plans to improve credibility. Where is Linus? Where is he? There's no Linus. I'm so confused. Luke talks about supporting the rest of the team. There he is. Why do you got Linus appearing at the end of the video? God dang. Okay, I'll figure out why the other ones appeared, but let's get over to Linus Tech Tips and see what he had to say as he appears. A wild Linus appears.
And let's face it, he's going to fail again. Hey, it's me. I'm Chief Vision Officer now, but Realistically, I'm not going to be able to hide behind my recent demotion here. I was the one at the head of the company for each and every mistake that our community has rightly brought to our attention.
Okay.
And once again, I made things worse by allowing myself to respond emotionally. It's honestly really hard when people take an internal process error and then they run that all the way to Linus is a thief and wants to auction someone else's intellectual property to the highest bidder, or accuses me of trying to brush something under the rug just because I do think it's important to get all the details before declaring me to be a low-down liar, straight-up piece of We were slow shipping back the GPU that Billet Labs sent us. No way around it.
Okay.
That's our bad. But the delay in communication, the one that prompted the post that you guys just saw, it was less than 2 business days. The second that I was made aware of the situation, on the 14th, I emailed Billet Labs and I explained what happened. I even included Colton's attempt at apologizing and offering, no questions asked, full compensation for their stated value of the product, which happened on the 10th, before we were under any pressure to do so, and without Colton even bothering to check with me or Yvonne before just saying, go for it.
Okay.
He knows that our internal policy is to do the right thing. So he tried, bless him. I guess his job is safe for another day. And I'm sorry, I guess I've actually gotten a little bit emotional here again. So I'm going to stop there because whatever's being said about me and whatever's being said about the team should never have allowed my feelings to distract from any valid criticism of our work. My decision, for example, to not bother retesting the monoblock, that was obviously wrong, and my lame response on the forum was a huge and unnecessary blunder.
Okay.
I owe you guys better, and I'm sorry. For my part,
I just want to say, like, him being emotional, like, obviously using humor to kind of cope with the fact that this is, you know, damaging for him kind of thing, and hurting kind of thing. It looks like we might have missed an event here where Linus kind of reacted from their video first to what is currently happening now, which I'll see if I can dig into. But in terms of apologies and saying sorry and accountability, so far this doesn't seem like a terrible, I guess it's a follow-up from what might have been an emotional and terrible situation, but like, oh my God. I never thought, like, it's 2023. I never thought that we would find ourselves here. Okay. We got Colleen Ballinger with the ukulele. We've got Linus Tech Tips with the whole squad here. And then he just appears at the end. Like, these apology videos are getting absolutely, like, I don't know who's going to apologize next, but if Linus Tech Tips is out here apologizing, then it's just, the sky is just quite literally the limit. But guys, if you even go into the comments, one last thing we need to talk about it is apparently allegations from somebody named Madison. Someone came out on Twitter and I think was basically expressing their concerns and their experience while they were with LTT. If you even look at this comment down here, watched LT for the last 10 years. It sucks watching the company grow and lose what made it so special. Greed and ego. The whole Madison allegations should be addressed. So who is Madison and what are the allegations? Thanks to Solar Flare and a lot of you guys keeping me up to date. You guys have told me the hellish reckoning coming for the tech tuber Golden Child LMG. Between this and the Gamers Nexus video, things aren't looking good. So you're kind of caught up, okay, guys? Something going on between Gamer Nexus and, you know, the team Linus Tech Tips and LTT, okay? You've seen the squash and the barrel and the beef, but it seems to be a part 2 to the situation from a person by the name of Madison, who we're going to find out what's happening now. It came out 8 hours ago. So literally like last night where these allegations came out. It reads, to stop the speculation and DMs I am receiving, I chose to quit my role at LTT because it and the working environment I was facing were ruining my mental health. The number of daily items in the social media role at the time was expected to fill was incredibly high. She's a social media manager. She's probably in charge for posting like Instagram posts, Twitter posts, you know, posting on all of their social medias and just, yeah, that's probably what she does. It continued and said, I was expected to post 3 tweets, 2 Instagram posts, and 2 TikToks minimum per day. Dang. Does that mean she has to like create the videos as well? Or does she just post it? Because that's a lot to do. Yeah, that's a lot. I was also expected to plan, film, edit, and post 2 float plane exclusive per week. What? This included wrangling people to be in them when they are also struggling to get their work done. All right, so that's a lot. So if this is what she was expected to do, I hope that she was getting paid like big buco duco dollars, because That's a lot of work in one day. I was also expected to manage, plan, and come up and execute, get approval for, and schedule out all the sponsored content on socials, not including YouTube. Ooh, usually you have one person who just does this together. It sounds like she just did everything like behind the doors, like literally everything. Usually you would split up these jobs between 2 or 3 people. It looks like she had to do all of it, all while being told not to complain because my job was the fun job. Again, if she's getting paid, it is what it is, you know? If that's a part of the job description, then it works. Like if she's getting paid properly and compensated properly, which for all of these jobs and tasks, she better have, because this is a lot, especially for a big channel. But yeah, she continued and said, I cannot speak on what it's like now, but they have an entire team working on seemingly what I have expected to accomplish alone. I misspoke originally when I stated I had an NDA. I thought the employee handbook acted as one. I am not a lawyer. I never publicly made any statements regarding my time there because I feared even more backlash from a community that was already attacking, defaming, and sending me death threats. So there must have been a prior statement that she had given as well, which we'll find as well. So this might be the post-up. We're going backwards, kind of like Star Wars. I also feared for my future in the career, given that LTT is large and has industry connections. My time at this company brought my mental health to an all-time low. You could talk to anyone who was around me during my employment and they would confirm it. I would not have recommended anyone I knew to work there, especially with my experiences as a woman and the office. Oh man, we got misogyny in the LTT office, bro. Say it ain't so. I was consistently belittled by certain members of upper management. My work was called dog shit. I was called incompetent. When I would reach out to managers and try to get help with these situations, I would be told to, quote, put on my big girl pants and, quote, be more assertive. Oof. Oh, no. No, not the toxic work culture, bro. It doesn't matter if you think I am or am not stupid. This behavior is not appropriate. After enough complaints from me, I was pulled into a meeting. In the meeting, the writer's room was pointed to and I was asked, quote, do you think any of these people would have a hard time getting a job? I said, no. Keep in mind, this was about a month into working there. I was then pointed to and asked, what about you? I was scared. I remember asking, are you going to fire me? I was laughed at and told to stop being so pessimistic. Wow, that's gaslighting. As if my job and ability hadn't just been vaguely threatened. I was then asked to agree to a verbal no drama contract. The verbal part is important. Wow. Okay, this is toxic, guys. I'm sorry. I'm pausing, obviously, for commentary purpose, but holy moly, gaslighting, toxic. Okay, I worked in a toxic work environment, and this smells and reeks of exactly the same kind of things where you scare somebody into their job and then just tell you that don't be scared. Why would I ever do such a thing like that? Like this is toxic 101. In this moment, I realized I was no longer considered part of the team. I was not a threat because I was putting up a fuss when I believed I was being treated unfairly and appropriately. This verbal agreement wasn't right. It was behind the scenes warning with no record. A warning that came very shortly after I had come forward stating I had been inappropriately grabbed multiple times in the office. Amongst other issues, I was barred from being in videos. So when you ask what happened, why wasn't she more content? This is why. Oh, no, man. There's this perplexing fear that people will leave LTT and start their own thing if given a platform. So if that platform could threaten negative things coming out about your company or you'd probably want to squash it too. In my experience, there's a belief that everything you accomplish, no matter how much is created by your own effort, is actually due to Linus giving you a platform. This is what I was told when I moved from Arizona to Vancouver to take this job. Sounds like some Miranda Priestley stuff from The Devil Wears Prada. Like you gotta go there, work there, and then whatever you get from there comes from Amanda Priestley. But except for Amanda Priestley is now Linus Tech Tips and Jesus Christ, there's sexual harassment going around in the office is from what she's claiming. After it was publicly announced by Linus that he was hiring me without my knowledge or consent to that situation, and also before I was even offered the job or shown the salary, I agreed and signed the employment contract. I've been told during my interview that I would be allowed to monetize my YouTube channel and be allowed to join Floatplane in exchange for shutting down my Patreon. Once I moved, I was presented with an entirely new contract handbook that I was not told existed. It detailed that I was given incorrect information and would actually have to make changes to my plans if I wanted to continue being employed at LTT. This was after I had moved entire countries and given up my visa status. I couldn't just go back. So it sounds like she got locked into a contract that she did not originally agree to, only after she had basically put her foot in the door and relocated and moved her pay Patreon and everything. Once it got to the point where she couldn't go back to what she was doing prior, it looks like they gave her some more information she was not privy to. Some corrections were made up as apologies for the miscommunication, but I was still upset. I later went to Linus about this and stated that the effort to remediate the situation wasn't sitting right with me. He told me perhaps I should change my priorities. He was in the instance referring to the fact my brother had suddenly passed away not even a week before I moved for this job, and that perhaps I should just ignore that I had been misled because that was more important. I cannot tell you how upset I felt in this moment. Good God. This is really hard to read. The opportunities LTT presented to me were nothing in comparison to the day-to-day issues I faced. It did not matter if I spoke to someone with evidence of an abuse of power or inappropriate workplace behavior. It was considered tattletaling. I was actually called a tattletale. Who are these people that Linus Tech Tips employed, bro? Because, I mean, I don't know if this is LTT in general or this is other people, but like it sounds like the crew there was just, I was told I was bossy when I was trying to be assertive. I was told I was arguing when I was trying to discuss my point of view, and I was told to, quote, calm my tits, quote, stop being such a bitch, and other comments to similar effects. There were numerous instances of misinformation being given to me purposely to negatively impact my work. I only know this because coworkers would told me they overheard the actual information I should have been given. It felt like a horrible teenage drama movie. Work from home was a whole issue. If you take 3 minutes to answer a personal email, you can get in trouble. There's a system of micromanaging and a level of distrust because the amount of content they have to push out daily is so insane, no one gets a break. I remember getting told off for taking my sick days, as in the days you're entitled to. This no days off grind set culminated in the real moment I realized I had to leave. I purposely cut my leg open so badly I would have to go to the ER to get it stapled back together. What? Why did you do that? It was genuinely the only way in my mind to take a day off without being harassed for a reason. I had spoken to managers about how I was struggling and how the workload was too much for one person, but I was belittled and told, you just have bad time management skills. There are so many instances that led up to the moment. Some of them I have replayed over and over, asking myself, what did I do to go wrong? How could I have changed the situation? But I don't think I could have. I was not treated fairly, and in the moment, I couldn't even see that because I was told I was the problem by people I had looked up to for years. I had coworkers come to me saying, I didn't like how you were treated. Glad you got out. And only then did I realize it wasn't me. I haven't shared any of this because with my closest friends and family because I couldn't at the time take any more hits to my mental health. They couldn't deal with how small and worthless the job had made me feel, all to push out some mediocre crap post. I'm still scared crapless of what response will be since I am a woman and have already been called dramatic. I'm not stating what happened to me because I am seeking clout. I'm starting it because it has been eating away from me for the past 2 years. There are genuinely amazing, compassionate, incredibly intelligent people who work at this company and are driven to just share the cool tech they love. It sucks that ego and a bottom line are slowly destroying some of them and hurting the entire reputation of the company. Who are the some? Okay, Madison, quick, easy, call them out. We're already here now. Point out, call out the names. Was it Linus? Who was it? The entire company is not bad. That's great. But who are the bad apples? Because we want their names now. And finally, she said, and I know this has been a doozy, but I think it's important to get the whole thing out there, and who else to get it from except for me, all right? I didn't ever want to say anything for fear of hurting these people and their employment, but at this point, I'm hurting myself keeping this all in while also being constantly bombarded with questions about LTT and jokes made at my expense. So guys, there you have it. You're all caught up. That's the Linus Tech Tips situation in a nutshell. And when I say a nutshell, it was pretty long and lengthy, but you have all of the full information, okay? Linus Tech Tips and the company itself basically get into a feud with Gamer Nexus based on their inaccuracies and errors that they have been doing for a while now, getting called out successfully for it. And in their response video, they basically showed everyone and what they're doing and how they've been doing it, I guess. And then eventually brought up Linus, who was about to break down after like a minute of talking about the situation because just not a very comfortable one for him to be in, as he's no longer the CEO. But the inaccuracies in the descriptions are things that were in place while he was still the leader in place, still responsible for what occurred. But as that went down, Madison, the ex-social media manager, came down and started talking about her terrible experience where she basically got tricked into working into a job and couldn't go back, and they got a handbook that told her that she had to make even more changes. Apparently she was overworked. I don't even know if she was getting paid properly. to do what looked like to be 2 or 3 or 4 people's different jobs here. And just the harassment, being told the misogynist behavior that was going on in the company. We don't know the names of the people. She hasn't called them out yet. I hope that she does. And being told things like to calm your tits, and also being groped and touched, and for the point where she was starting to self-inflict mental health, degrading to that point where she felt like the only way to get out was to stay in a freaking hospital. As somebody who has worked in a toxic culture environment myself, I worked in Big Four when it came to accounting, and I know people who have been... It's really bad when you are in very, very bad work conditions. Some people might be thinking about this and like, just work harder, or you should be blessed, or you should be opportunistic. No, when work cultures are really bad, I remember for each office that I would go to in my work environment, there was a cry spot where women would go and let other women know, like, hey, if you ever feel like it's becoming too much for you, you can go to this spot, this corner in this area, and just cry. And when I first heard that was a thing, that every single office space, every client space had a location for women to cry because it was that bad, I was like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? That's a story on its own. I have plenty of that when it comes to the accounting space. But long story short, guys, you're all caught up. Let me know how you guys feel about the situation. There may be like one or two things that I missed, but that's basically the big TLDR. I'll let you guys know if Linus Tech Tips and the team responds to this, and if we get any more follow-up information when it comes to Madison as well, and the people that she called out. Because yeah, I would like to get some names, because people saying like calm your tits and treat her the way that she did should not be allowed to just walk around freely. And also, gigantic news is just me said Charlie's contract with Twitch has expired. That's right. Our boy Charlie, aka Penguin Zero, aka MoistCritikal, is now officially leaving Twitch. And when I say leaving Twitch, his contract has expired. For those of you guys who don't know, if you're a Twitch streamer on Twitch, sometimes you can just stream freely. And there's a partnership program that prevents you from actually streaming on other platforms. If you're partnered with Twitch, then you are not legally allowed to stream on another platform without foregoing your partnership program, which means you don't get paid on Twitch. However, you've probably heard about people going from Twitch and co-streaming. Co-streaming means streaming on multiple places, on Kick or on YouTube. If you do that, then that just means you're just not going to get paid when you stream on Twitch. You can still stream, just not getting the money because you're not a part of the partner program. And it looks like Charlie has finally said, and he's been talking about this for a while now, and ever since Twitch has been under fire for all of their policy changes, saying that, he plans on leaving the platform, and he went to YouTube, and he did his first YouTube stream, I believe yesterday, which already has 1 million views. But if you come to his video that was trending number 6, it says goodbye Twitch. The reason why this is a big deal, by the way, if you guys don't know, is that Charlie is one of Twitch's biggest streamers. In fact, I believe like almost every evening without change, Paul, I don't know if this guy gets sick. I don't know if this man takes vacations. I don't know what's going on, but I see him streaming on Twitch almost every single day. He is a huge cornerstone for that platform. And I'm just like, this is a huge switch, monumental. He's always on there, always. I don't know how he does it between that and YouTube. So it's a very big deal that he's making this transition.
I couldn't think of a great title for this video, so it ended up sounding a little more intense than I planned for it to be, but make no mistake, it's still going to be a high-octane video that's going to blow your hair back. I am saying goodbye to Twitch, but not fully in the way that you think. It's not like a funeral service for the MoistCritikal Twitch channel.
Yeah.
That would be the saddest way of going out ever, because the last broadcast on there is from last night, and it is some of the most despicably trash Warlock gameplay Dark and Darker has ever seen. Having that cursed footage be the last thing broadcast on my Twitch channel before retiring it would be more embarrassing than if my dick pics leaked. So, pop a squat by the fireplace and let me explain. My Twitch contract has been terminated amicably between myself and Twitch, and a huge thanks to Twitch for being so willing to do that, because I did still have a lot of time remaining on my Twitch contract, but I wanted to be able to have flexibility to stream elsewhere, and Twitch fully understood and gave me that firm pat on the ass and said, you go get 'em, champ.
That's actually wild. I don't know if that means that he had to forgo like some revenue, or I don't know what the agreements were. I mean, he might explain it, but Twitch being like, hey man, I understand it, best of luck, is, well, obviously if they were like mean or mad or salty about it in public, then Charlie would have called him out. So like, if you better be nice, because otherwise one of the biggest freaking commentary channels in the world is going to tell you how not nice you were.
I am no longer exclusive with Twitch. Now, this isn't me announcing that I've signed somewhere else with like a contract. This isn't like a LeBron James The Decision moment where I'm coming up here and saying,
boy.
I'm taking my
You're on
talent.
Kick?
Well, for me, I'm taking my lack of talent to Mixer. It's nothing like that. This is just simply me saying Twitch was nice
you're
enough
free
to
agent.
turn our contract into toilet paper, which is what I wanted because I really like the idea of not being forced into one place. I'd like to be able to spread my butterfly wings and be able to try different things on different platforms.
Okay.
So it means a lot that Twitch was willing to, terminate that contract because under that contract, I couldn't. But
Okay.
now the dog's off the leash. I could rip my shirt off, twirl it over my head like a helicopter blade, and start streaming on Facebook if I wanted to. If I was a crazy person. I'm not doing that. Never happening. But I could, is the point.
So I'm curious. I want to find out here what's going on. Like, I think that he's not a part of a contract. There's a contract that people get when they are really big in streaming, okay? Like MoistCritikal, Tyler One, Hassan. Some of your biggest streamers that you know probably have contracts exclusive that give them a little like bonus, a little like coochie, like, hey, thank you so much for being a part of the team. Hey, why don't you keep doing that for a while now? And then you have partner programs. That's for us normies who are just out there trying to live our lives, getting our 50-50 split that basically allows you to monetize your Twitch. So there's two different things here. Don't know if he's still a part of the partner program, but I think based on the policy there, I don't think you can be if you are co-streaming.
Because I really do like the idea that you can just watch streams for free. You never need to turn on donations. You never need anyone to pay with subs or anything like that. There'd be no expectation or some feeling of obligation to pay for the streaming content you're watching because you'd know the streamer is getting some kind of hourly rate or some kind of contract with the platform they're on. I just think that's fantastic and should be the future because me streaming a game shouldn't be something that's paywalled or inundated.
I just want to pause because I don't know if you guys know this, but Kick, the competitor to Twitch, the Twitch killer, actually just announced a program where they're going to be signing up people, content creators, to get paid an actual salary to stream on their platform. That's another thing in a nutshell because one of the co-owners, Aiden Ross, and all these people, Your Rage actually just signed over to Kick as well. A lot of people moving over to Quick, Fusi, and getting paid lots of money to do so, XQC, but also a lot of people complaining about like the kinds of people that they're signing over there because the energy there at Kick is usually very homophobic, racist, sexist, everything. It's really freaking toxic over there. Even there was a situation that happened with a Minecraft YouTuber by the name of Sapnap. I didn't go into it because I honestly didn't care too much about it, but apparently he left to go to Kick because he wanted the money. And if you know anything about Minecraft stands and their fans, okay, it's a huge community of LGBT people. A lot of people were very upset that Sapnap took the bag and sacrificed the safety and well-being and, the thoughts of his fans who are basically the butt end of jokes and comments and harassment that is Kick. So it's a big deal that Charlie says he thinks that's cool. I mean, doesn't mean that if Charlie goes over to Kick, oh my God, bro. Oh my God, dog.
Dated with ads out the wazoo. It should be something you could just flip on, completely free to watch and have nothing else to do but kick back and have fun. Streamers not having to rely on donations, I think, is just a great win-win across the board because unfortunately, there are times where someone gives more money than they should to someone that is financially far better off than they are.
Yes.
It's just an unfortunate circumstance of the streaming landscape that I think could be improved if contracts were more normalized in the streaming space. And this is going to sound a little weird because I just terminated my Twitch contract, yet I'm talking about how good contracts can be for streaming. So this is where I'm just going to be totally open and honest. Yeah. All the money I make from streaming goes into our esports organization, Moist Esports. And if you know anything about esports, you'd know it's an absolute bonfire for money. It is actually just flushing money down the toilet forever without ever seeing any return. Okay. It's why so many of these orgs go completely defunct. It is just bleeding money until there is nothing left to bleed, and then it's tears. That's just the landscape of esports. But we're in esports because we're passionate about it.
There's got to be I love Charlie, but there's got to be like something. Like there's got to be a recomp, right? But there's no such thing as a free lunch, right? My guess is I don't know if it's tax write-offs or some kind of benefit that's involved with holding out into esports until potentially maybe it does become profitable, or I don't know, maybe it's just getting it into the space and then hoping that it grows at some point in time. But yes, esports companies have been talking about it being just a call center for a very long time, hence why a lot of the companies and places cases that you see. In terms of esports organizations, usually dissolve because of lack of funds. Now, when your funds are coming from, Charlie, aka this guy is a freaking multi-millionaire, okay, makes tons of money on Twitch and on YouTube and everything else that he touches, right? You can be up for quite a while, but curious to see what the long game is for a company like Moist Global Esports. If it's just, just a passion project that you just want to spend money on, that's completely fine as well. But yeah, if you come to Charlie's channel and you see last time he streamed was 5 years ago. He has here another one 5 hours and 42 minutes later, my first YouTube stream, and it's 1.2 million views. So it seems like it was an absolute success. So yeah, guys, that's Charlie moving over to YouTube. No strings on him anymore when it comes to Twitch and being able to stream wherever he wants and potentially also sign a contract with anybody, whoever he wants. Okay, he's a free agent now. Okay, so the guys over at YouTube and the guys over at Kick are probably like, yo, Charlie, hey, look, I understand that you no longer want to be exclusive to a platform, but what if I gave you 100 million? Oh my God, the internet would absolutely blow up if Charlie actually joined Kick. Like it would go insane because Kick is just so wild right now. YouTube makes more sense, okay? If you got that Google money, I don't think anybody would care. I mean, that seems like the most logical route after spending so much time with Twitch. Also, seeing the fact that Twitch doesn't seem to really take care of their biggest creators enough, right? They seem to be accommodating in terms of leaving, but in terms of staying, they're just kind of like, it is what it is, homie. Just you either stay here or you're good to go. So that's the situation. If I missed anything, let me know, but I think that's Charlie moving over into new greener pastures, aka red YouTube streams. So guys, Donald Trump got indicted again. And it's a big, chunky, wongy 41 freaking indictments involving co-conspirators in the state of Georgia when it comes to, I think, election fraud. And basically is huge to the point where our guy Donald Trump might actually be getting a mugshot. MR2 is saying the memes that come from the mugshot being released will go so hard. Donald Trump's first mugshot could be released. Next steps for the ex-president who has to surrender by next Friday to the Fulton County Jail. Guys, if Donald Trump gets a mugshot, he wins the next election if he can run it. Historically speaking, if you get a mugshot, right, it is basically like a badge of honor. It's not like, oh no, I went to jail. No. Every famous hip hop artist, person ever out there, if you got a hard mugshot, that's a stamp of approval. That is like you were in the system and you're out and you're still out and about. Like that's too much power, bro. I think almost at most places and most times, especially when you're a celebrity, it's as long as you're not going downhill, which is kind of what's happening to Trump, it'll be used as a positive thing. So what's actually happening to Trump here? Okay, let's just kind of keep you guys up in the know. What was covered here? Donald Trump and 18 co-defendants have until August 25th to voluntarily surrender to Georgia authorities after being indicted in the state of 2020's election subversion case. All of the defendants will be booked at the full county jail, the sheriff said Tuesday. 20 people? Yo, who are the co-defendants? Former president, 13 charges, violation of Georgia Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. That is called RICO, my friends, and that is no bueno to be charged and indicted for that. Solicitation of violations of oath by public officers, conspiracy to commit impersonating a public officer, conspiracy to commit forgery in the first degree, conspiracy to commit false statements and writings, conspiracy to commit filing false documents, and then false statements and writings. And the people being charged are Mark Meadows, the White House Chief of Staff, Rudy Giuliani with 13 charges. Oh my God. John Eastman, Trump's election lawyer. We got Jeffrey Clark, the top Justice Department official. We got Sidney Powell, another Trump election lawyer. Jenna Ellis, the Trump campaign lawyer. All the lawyers are getting got. They got to call Better Call Saul. The lawyers, Saul, Better Call Saul. We got Mike Roman, the Trump campaign official. Ray Smith, the Trump campaign attorney. And then there's other allies. We got Kenneth Cheesebro, the pro-Trump lawyer. We got Trevian Cootie, who's just a publicist. Harrison Floyd, leader of the Black Voices for Trump. Say it isn't so. Robert Cheeley, Stephen Lee, a pastor. tied to the election worker intimidation. And then fake electors. We got David Schaefer, Georgia GOP chair, and Sean Still. Oh my, everyone is getting cooked for collaborating and working with Trump. Anyway, continuing, the sweeping 41 count indictment includes 13 charges against Trump and accuses the former president of being the head of a criminal enterprise to overturn his electoral defeat in the state that was part of a broad conspiracy. And Trump is now facing 91 charges across 4 separate indictments at the same time that he's running for president in 2024. He denies any wrongdoing and has slammed the cases as politically motivated. Got 91 indictments? Is this like a world record? Oh my God, dog. This sounds like wild, right? But why do I feel like this is not going to matter? Like, I feel like at the end of the day, Trump is walking away. Not only is he walking away, I feel like Trump is not only just walking away from this unscathed, but then he's going to run the election and he's going to win. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't put that energy or the force out there, but I can't see it happening. Like, he's done so many things in his election office and just walked away. Whatever he says, whatever he does, it's gotten to the point where I'm numb now. Okay. Like, Trump can go ahead and shoot somebody in the head. I'm like, yeah. That's okay. It's Trump. He's walking away from it. Like, that's how I kind of feel from a public view, because I just don't see this man ever getting got, because he's just always moving forward and getting away with it, or just not getting caught, or I don't know. People think it's politically motivated and they're just trying to get this man so that he can't get back into office. I don't know. All I know is that this guy has an uphill battle. Anyway, guys, we're going to stop here, okay? We're going to end the video because combined with the Linus tech tips and Charlie and the whole situation with Trump, okay, I'm pretty sure this video is already too long, but I will try to make a video for you guys tomorrow, okay? So same time. You can always find me on here 3:30 or 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern. That's kind of when I'm trying to post as well, and we'll talk about some more news just so that I'm not here for like an hour and 30 minutes. Like, that would be too long. Right. Love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. All right. And yeah, that would be really cool because we're trying to get to 1 million subscribers by the end of the year. It doesn't look like it's going to happen, but we must keep trying. I love y'all. Take it easy. Brush your teeth and peace.